I am genuinely surprised on how good this game is, and how long it took for me to realize that this game existed. This video, as you probably guessed, will be on BattleBricks, and it will act as a review slash first impression of the game for me. I've only started playing this game several days ago, and I'm already hooked. I didn't expect a game which I mostly played due to a 4-second skin to turn out to be one of, if not the best, Roblox tower defense games out there. I'll explain how game design wise, from balancing, progression, on how it treats the players. BattleBricks just does almost everything perfectly. While it does have some flaws I want to mention, I highly recommend you guys to try the game out for yourself, and not just because of a 4-second skin. From the start, what type of the game is the BattleBricks? Well, it's a single-player tower defense game heavily inspired by BattleCats, where instead of placing towers on a map to defeat enemies on the path, you send out units from your base to destroy the enemy base. It's a simple concept, but it works so well, given almost every other popular tower defense game has the same tower path enemy system, with almost all of them having the same gameplay. It does bring a lot of fresh air on the platform. I wanna start with progression first though, because I feel like it's the main strength of the game. No matter what I mention in this section, it will still not do the game's justice. For the sake of this video, I wanna focus on 4 main chapters on normal difficulty of the game, since it's what I played, and I will leave sub-chapters and 3rd and hardest game difficulty maybe for another time, depending on how well this video will be received. So if you want me to cover those two, like the video so I know you guys are interested in it. Anyways, going back to progression. Each chapter has 30 stages. While most stages are easy filler stages that usually make you get used to upcoming enemies, every stage that ends with a 5 is a stage with increased difficulty compared to other ones, while every stage that ends with a 0 is a boss fight stage, with each chapter's stage 30 being the final boss. While the filler stages can be boring, the game throwing a difficult stage every 5th one is a nice balance of not being bored and not feeling overwhelmed at the same time. Every chapter has its own unique bosses, so there's not a single major stage that feels similar to the previous one. And with 4 main chapters and 30 stages each, that leaves us with 120 stages. It doesn't seem a lot at first, until you realize that after completing a chapter, you unlock the possibility to replay the chapter, but with increased difficulty, that being the star system. If you want to quickly complete the game for the 4-second skin, you're only looking at 120 stages, but if you wanna truly beat the entire game, you are looking at least 720 stages. When it comes to content, you will not be running out of it anytime soon. There's also no towers you need to grind for like in other games. No need to spend hours upon hours of grinding to get accelerator or refractor, since the only grind system the game has is the EXP system, which can be grinded pretty easily, and you can do it while being AFK. This game is just not grindy at all. It's actually pretty generous on how many units it gives you for free early on, and how enemies themselves show you how to use it before you even get a chance to unlock it for yourself. Now the balancing. I'm gonna be honest, I like it a lot. Like a lot. And not only because of sheer amount of types of battlers that the game has, because believe me, there's a lot. You have backliners and frontliners that split into different categories, that also split into different types. You also have the aspect of your battlers being better against certain enemies. For example, Chapter 1 has basic enemies, Chapter 2 has red enemies, Chapter 3 has black enemies, and Chapter 4 has angel enemies. And most of the battlers you will unlock have a respective trait that will deal and resist more damage against certain enemies, heavily encouraging you to change your loadout around depending on the chapter you play on. The game is not just about knowing which unit is most cost efficient, but it's more about how to balance frontliners with backliners and utilize your battlers and their strength depending on the chapter. Most of the units that are best for all chapters are the ones you get for free. It's so great for a tower defense game on this platform to have actual strategy instead of placing towers that are just most cost efficient and calling it a day. It is just so refreshing. Like, I cannot describe the game as anything else but amazing. It is just fun to play, and I highly recommend it to you. As for the tutorial, while the game has no tutorial, it does show new players around. If you want an example, there are stages in the first chapter of the game that show concepts of what strategies you may apply to win. Take for example stage called meat shooting, where enemies throw some backline enemies with bunch of cheap units to tank your hits, while backliners shoot you down. The game, instead of just outright telling the players on how to play the game, it insisted on showing it instead, which I think is a great choice in the end. The only flaws I found with the game is the fact that some stages are just super filler and don't really pose any challenge, and EXP system seems a little bit expensive early on that can discourage new players from trying out new battlers they have. And lastly, I may be blind, but I don't think there's a way to save your loadout. And I really wish for me to save loadouts. I have no idea if that's in the game and I'm just blind, but the ability to save loadouts would be such a quality of life improvement that I don't think is in the game. As I said, maybe I may be blind, maybe there is. If there is, please tell me. But I think those are the only problems I have with the game. As I said at the start, I played the game mostly only for the 1/2 skin, but I might honestly try to beat the game in its entirety due to how just great and fun it is. Hi, this is editing me because I forgot to mention 2 important things that just make the progression even more fun than what I had previously described. Firstly, you can unlock tiny versions of the final bosses by beating a respective chapter on a 3-star difficulty, which is just a fun, interactive way for players to actually have a goal to replay those chapters. Not to mention, all the battlers you upgrade, you unlock an alternative version of them upon reaching level 10. So the amount of battlers you technically have in the game seemingly doubled, because it's not as simple as just a battler becoming stronger, they have different uses. I just cannot encourage you enough to try the game out for yourself, like, it is just so good. See ya.